story time about how I did the dirty with my cousin. I wanted him to do it, all while our parents are downstairs.
So you thought you have the weirdest story time to tell.
Wrong.
Some of these people, the TikTok people, they have the weirdest story time. I mean, at least I hope they do. I promise you, I don't sniff stuff. Anyways, I want to show you guys this first one. This one is about her ex who ruined his own life, allegedly.
My ex ruined his life and I'm buzzing about it. Story time. So I found out that my ex was having an affair. He told me that he'd found a woman at work and he'd fallen in love with her. He told me that he no longer loved me and that he wanted a divorce. And we had been together since we were in our teens. Bearing in mind, he'd known this woman for 3 months. And we had 3 children together as well. And I desperately fought for our marriage, but he simply just would not stop seeing this woman. This one weekend, he disappeared from Friday afternoon till Sunday night. And that was the final straw, so I was like, see ya, and I threw him out. And he immediately moved in with this other girl. The only excuse he ever gave me was that there was just something about this girl and he deserved to be happy. And that was it. That was the excuse for throwing literally everything away. We ended up finalising the divorce in early 2022. So although I had some very strong feelings towards him, I faked it enough to get some pretty favourable divorce terms from him. Seeing that he was so intent on being with his dream girl super quick that he wasn't really intending on having a long divorce. In the end, I got to keep my house, which was good because I bought this from my grandma. I did have to give him quite a hefty payout though. And throughout all of it, the kids took it really hard. My eldest son told him that if he chose this other woman, then he would not have a relationship with his son anymore. But my daughter does have somewhat of a relationship. But their conversations end with my daughter being really upset most of the time. So about 4 months after the divorce goes through, my ex contacts me. He realised he'd made a horrible mistake and was asking if he could come home. So it turns out that this dream woman was actually a really nasty piece of work and a not very nice person at all. So I used this opportunity to tell him exactly what I thought about him as a person. And whilst I was at it, I thought I might as well throw him what he was like as a father and as a partner. I told him that this is his life now. I told him that he no longer had a home at this house.
As it should, like, oh my gosh.
So a few things have happened since that meant he's tried to contact me again. I'm also aware that this is not the right shade, but we'll sort it out. First of all, I met someone. My sister introduced me to someone who she works with who is also divorced. We got on so well and have been seeing each other since last summer. It's quite nice actually because neither of us want to get married again. And secretly, I think he deserves all the pain he's going through in regards to the kids. He destroyed our whole family without so much of an afterthought. Well, too bad, hon. So sad for you. So, he recently ended up telling my daughter that he'd actually broken it up with his dream girl. I found out that the dream girl had nicked all of his money and that money actually turned out to be mine. You know, the money from the divorce settlement? Yeah. Oh, and she also wrote off his car when she was driving drunk, so that's great. And this is all coming from a woman in her 30s. You know, just to remind everyone, coming from a woman who he knew for 3 months and then proceeded to ruin our whole family for. And I act like I feel pretty sorry for him. Inside, I delight that this is the life that he's made for himself. Call me evil or whatever. He brought all of this on himself. So if you're watching this, enjoy your shite 1-bed apartment and your broken down car, hon. Oh, and me and my new partner will think of you when we're on our vacation in Hawaii. I know Hawaii was the place you always wanted to go. Maybe I'll send you a postcard.
Dang, that's actually rough. That is a lot to take in. Like, if a father of 3, he ruined not just his life but potentially the kid's life. I mean, to be honest, it's good to have, like, get rid of the bad example, and now she's with someone new, which is, hopefully is a good example, and would obviously, girl, I'm not trying to be, I've been single for too long. Why am I giving you guys for it? Girl, shut up. I'm gonna say the comments for this. Girl, is it your story or someone else's? That is a good question because she looks too young to be a mother of 3. Oh, it's someone else's story. Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. But she is so pretty. I love her skin, like, dang. Someone said I saw this on Reddit. I need to, see, I would love to do like a Reddit thing, but I'm really bad at reading.
It's clear that I'm not white, but my dad's white, so he's gotten into a lot of trouble for having.
Imagine going through so much trouble because your dad is white. My dad black, but actually my dad black and nothing else. I can't imagine what these people go through. Imagine being mixed.
I was a custodian at my middle school, and not all the teachers knew that. My dad and I decided that we were gonna go on a late night walk because we wanted to go to the convenience store, and it so happens that the teachers at my school were having some sort of staff dinner in the same plaza. My dad and I go to the convenience store, and we come out, and I guess the teachers are leaving now. We're walking back home, and we see like a car slow down beside us, and then it like turns all the way over because we're still in the parking lot and like they're on the road. So he drives past us slowly, and we make eye contact, and then he like zooms off, but the shock on his face was like, we were like, that was weird, but like whatever. I know for a fact this man went home and couldn't sleep at night thinking, oh my gosh, one of my students is out late at night with the custodian. The next day was a school day, and my dad gets called into the office. Right away the principal said like a teacher came to him and they're extremely worried about Destiny, and my dad knew right away what teacher it was and why they were worried. Luckily the teacher knew my dad, so it wasn't really a big deal. They kind of laughed about it, but this has happened to my dad so much, like in real life, people stopping him and being like, whoa.
Imagine the other guy.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
I'm gonna read the comments. What is a custodian? Good question. I would like to know. And if the teacher thought something was off, why didn't he interfere? Exactly. No, but like seriously, you gotta think about it. Why didn't he say nothing? That is very weird.
Why are people the worst, you guys? I barely tapped this guy, okay? I got in an accident. It was my fault. I barely tapped him. And I went up to his window. I was like, I'm sorry. Let me get you my information. I'll text you. Whatever's the easiest way. I'm so sorry. And he said, I want an ambulance. I barely tapped him. So I was like, fuck you. You're fine. What do you mean? So he's an Uber driver, right? He has a girl in the back of his car. So I was like, when he said...
Pause. I hate when people try to take advantage of people who are like, I don't want to say vulnerable, but also vulnerable. People who are weak, people who are young as well, like they probably haven't gone through stuff like that. And also, she said it's like a really like tap, like okay, but
he wanted an ambulance. I was like, fine. So I called the police, right? And now the police are coming, and he decided he doesn't want the police anymore. But now the police are coming, and so now he's pissed at me, and he keeps banging on my window and trying to open my door, and it's just terrible. People are terrible.
Someone needs to snipe this guy down. No, but seriously, that's actually really scary. That is really scary. That is a very good question. Isn't Uber driver? Oh, girl, chances are he doesn't have commercial insurance. Then most people don't know regular insurance don't cover if you so it doesn't work when you're working, like, so he ain't gonna get money for it anyways. So he wasn't gonna get money, then why was it going? Wait, what was the point? What's the point? Literally me tapped the girl because my foot lightened up on the pedal. We were stopped at a red light. She left in the, and oh my gosh, wow. I hope she said she had broken bones. That way the doctors will be like, girl, you ain't got no broken bones. What can I say? It's good. Even if you're responsible, call your parents as well. They will be a calm voice of a reason when you can't be. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think she did the right thing. She called the police, but then he didn't want it, so obviously something was off. That was a red flag, anyways. So yeah, I think she did the right thing.
Story time about how I did the dirty with my cousin. Disclaimer.
Stop!
Your cousin. You are your cousin.
It's not my story time. I repeat, this is not my story time. It's sending me on Instagram. My cousin kissed me for the first time that day. By the way, we were in school. He asked me to go behind one of the buildings in school. Out of nowhere, he grabbed me and kissed me. This was the first time I'd ever been kissed. So
Can I just like ask, how old were you guys? Because I understand maybe like as 5-year-olds, yeah, but you kept doing it. I've seen this, by the way. They kept doing it, like, sister, girl, something wrong with you.
instantly, I was infatuated. And then after that, every single day we would go behind that building and kiss some more. And
we were cousins. But the problem was there was nobody in our town that we were interested in. So his parents, who are my uncles, suddenly they started inviting my parents over to their house. So we would all go have dinner at their house and hang out sometimes. And my cousin and I would take advantage and go make out in his room. No one ever thought to check on us. I mean, why would they? We're cousins. One of those times that we went over, we did the dirty. My cousin just started going for it and I didn't stop him. I wanted him to do it. All while our parents are downstairs. And then we kept doing it every day. After about a year, he had to move away for school. And to this day, nobody knows.
Exact, Rose. She asking me.
お前は
So disgusting.
もう死んでいる。
And we kept doing it every day. What? No. My question is exactly what now?
何?
What now? I mean, at least they're not, girl. I mean, at least they're not siblings, right? Stop it. Come on, they're practically blood related. Bro, you still okay? They're still cousins. Girl, she don't understand. You do not understand. I want to see this conversation. Exactly, they have the same blood. No matter how small the town is, you don't kiss relatives. You must have been bored. You must have been single for too long. Well, definitely, you always single for too long, but like, dang, 5 years later, and you still think it's not wrong? You're asking, you have the audacity to ask if it's right. You're weird. You're weird for that. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. I had to redo this whole video again, but it's fine. It's fine. Just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about the camera quality. I am working on getting a new camera, just so you know.